Hey, I'm Walter Strauss. Nice to virtually meet you. I'm going to talk you through a workshop I'm going to teach at the Santa Barbara Acoustic Instruments Celebration, September 30th to October 2nd in Santa Barbara, California, which will be a cool scene. There's going to be some great players there from all kinds of backgrounds and exquisite hand-built instruments, so I hope to see you. The workshop I'm teaching is called Outside the Box Fingerpicking, Stepping Out with the Right Hand, the picking hand. 5 fingers, 6 strings, enormous amount of possibilities for combinations of what we could actually do. But we tend to stick to what we're familiar with. Maybe we came up in it. Maybe it's Travis picking. Maybe it's another pattern-based finger picking. Maybe you were a classical guitarist. Whatever it is, we tend to do what's familiar to us. Our body has got an ease in doing it. We can stretch that out, what we're comfortable with doing. I do a lot of playing music from other instruments around the world, like gourd harps from West Africa and sitar, etc. Trying to translate it to the guitar in a way that is really approaching the instrument the way that the player of that instrument would approach it. So one of those things is harps, like I said. So I love this addition to playing, and we'll look at this in the workshop. So instead of playing, walking up the frets and the strings on a D major scale, we can do it here. You hear all the strings ringing. It gives us a whole other tone to what we're doing. We can also make it funky, using some muting down here and some strength in your pick. So there's all kinds of things we can do with our right hand. And I'll we'll be looking at the muting thing as well. You can use this in your improvisations, in your compositions, etc. You can also get into more of a blues modality with it, utilizing pentatonic scales as a starter, and then you can start to add to the pentatonic scales. I'm using a double drop Ds right here, tuning. That's what we're going to do throughout the workshop, where your E's are down to D. And within this tuning, there are a number of keys that you can work with open strings to create pentatonic scales, like this, an E minor pentatonic or a G major pentatonic. Okay, so that's a very basic way of running, but you can see it's mostly this hand. I'm not doing very much over here, and using open strings. You can arpeggiate that, which can start to give you some groove. Right? Now we can also start to add blues notes to it, blue notes, like etc. So we'll look at that, and I'll send you home with materials with tab and notation that you can utilize to keep working on these things. Another thing I'm very interested in is developing independence in your right hand between different parts that you're playing at the same time. An example of that, something we'll do in the workshop. Very simple little part here on the top. Add to that a bass line. Put them together. They're very syncopated together. Once you get comfortable with that, you can start to add to it. Etc. So we'll work with that. The last thing was about the muting, where you can really get different tones and shape the contour of what you're doing with it. So enough of that. I'll look forward to seeing you, I hope. And take care.